The church today celebrates the Good Shepherd Sunday. Now, every fourth Sunday of Easter, the church celebrates this Good Shepherd Sunday. And the question is, who is a good shepherd? Now, let us reflect over the theme. Be like Christ, the Good Shepherd. Christ is that ideal Good Shepherd. Now, in the Old Testament, we are presented with images of a good shepherd. Now, a shepherd in those days is one who defends his people, one who cares for his people, who leads his people, even to the point of feeding his people and making his people comfortable and then walking in the right path. Now, then, the kings in those days were seen as shepherds, but then the people of Israel suffered great misery in the hands of their kings and those who were placed in charge of them to lead them. And that was why at one point in time, prophets were found criticizing these kings, these leaders, these shepherds for their great irresponsibility. The kings who were placed in charge of the people were rather, instead of guarding, leading, and protecting the people, they were found being selfish and only dependent on what will bring their gain, what will bring to their own gain. And so the prophets were found criticizing this kind of people. And now in Ezekiel chapter 34, we find where God in turn now promised the people that I will show you the love that you are lacking. I will now be that good shepherd to you. It was also reflected in Jeremiah chapter 23. And so, dear friends, in the gospel reading today, we are presented with another image of the good shepherd. In fact, two images. First of all, the first image is that the good shepherd is one who fights for his sheep. And that was why in the gospel reading, Christ says, the good shepherd lays down his life for his sheep. Now, in laying down one's life for a particular person or a group of people, it shows a great love one has over this particular person or this group of people. And so Christ, as the good shepherd, lays down his life for his sheep. It is a reflection of a great love. And so, now, dear friends, when we look into this kind of love that the good shepherd shows his people, we now try to ask ourselves, what is this good attached to this shepherd? Why is it different from the kind of shepherds presented to us in the Old Testament? Now, the difference is that this good shepherd has this authentic love for his people. He has this true and original love for his people. He is not such a kind of leader who does not put the interest of the people at heart. And so now in the gospel reading, we were presented with two comparisons. Now the comparison of the good shepherd and the comparison with a hired man. Now hired soldiers, hired missionaries are the kind of people who work and depend on what their effort will earn them, like what the money they will earn at the end of their work. So at any event of any force or any harm over their life, they run away, but they work to earn their money. But the difference with the good shepherd is that the good shepherd, even at the expense of his life, does everything for the good of his sheep. And now he tries to make the sheep enjoy whatever comfort, whatever protection the sheep is supposed to enjoy. That is the ideal good shepherd, which is Christ. At Easter, Christ died for you and I, an ideal example of a shepherd who does not just depend on his life, who does not see the joy or the gain of his life, but that the joy and the gain of his sheep. That is the example of a good shepherd we are presented today in the readings of today. And so, dear friends, and that is why my theme today says, be like Christ the good shepherd. Our effort always should be that we always do everything we do in order to represent the good shepherd who is our master. Now, dear friends, what are the lessons we need to learn in today's readings? First of all, the good shepherd has this true love for his sheep. True love for his sheep. Do you love people who are around you? All of us at one point in time, we are placed with the responsibilities. And so, in those responsibilities, we are to become good shepherds. Now, as students, you are supposed to be a good shepherd in your school, in what you do, in your studies, as you read. Everyone has confidence in you that you are in school. And so, as a good shepherd, as a student, you need to put your own interest and attention on being a good student and studying well, and then putting all immoralities aside, like joining bad company and then all other things. And so, as a father in a family, you are a good shepherd. You are expected to have this true love for your people, true love for your responsibility. If you become irresponsible, this is the situation where the prophets were criticizing the kings. So you need to be like Christ, the good shepherd in your family, protecting your people, leading your people, and then caring and feeding for your people, showing good example of a good shepherd. And as a mother, same thing in the family. And now, dear friends, another lesson we need to learn: the good shepherd does not just love his sheep, but he loves what he is doing for his sheep. And so we need to have love for our duties, love for every responsibility we are being given. So in all where we find ourselves, we need to love what we do. When you love what you do, then the love of what you do can lead you to do more than what you do. And so the good shepherd in the readings of today even says that I lay down my life for my sheep. My sheep know me, and I know my sheep. And then at the end of the day, I'll take up. When I lay my life, I'll take it up at the end of the day. And so this shows that as good shepherds, we yearn for that life, the fulfilled life, that fullness of life in the end. And the fullness of life can only come when we lay our life for others, when we have the interests of others at heart. May the good Lord continue to bless us so that in all our endeavors, we'll try to represent Christ, the good shepherd, in what we do. Always remember, be like Christ, the good shepherd. May the good Lord bless his word.